Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO 44 coming at you another video. All right, so I'm gonna let her rip. I don't know what I'm gonna say in regards to the Los Angeles Lakers, but I'm just gonna talk. So bear with me. If anything, just know that I'm speaking directly off from the hip. So that's it. The Lakers lost the game last night against the Denver Nuggets, a game that provided us a lot of examples of what we don't like in regards to our squad. Now, granted, we were down some people. Obviously, LeBron James was missing, so we didn't have all that he brings to the table. But, we were relying upon some guys at the point guard spot, and they just didn't give it to us. Now, it's a lot of hate that's been thrown at Russell Westbrook for how bad he's played in the Los Angeles Lakers uniform. And, criticism and hate can be misunderstood as one another. And in this case, it's going to be criticism that I'm using in the spirit of criticism from which I speak. But at the same time, you can't tell the truth without somebody looking at it and saying, yo, we don't like that truth and we would rather you not. So with respect to that, I'm going to say Russell Westbrook is a heck of a Hall of Famer and has always shown up and shown out and never left any effort on the floor. He always gave it his all and will continue to. And I like having him on my team overall. He contributes to a lot of fun basketball to see played because he drives at the rim with so much velocity. He rebounds the ball at the point guard spot. He's a stronger player than most, so he's going to put himself in positions to be able to defend bigger guys in the block, which is such a luxury to have as a point guard with your point guard position. When I look back on Derek Fisher and some of the things that he was able to do in that same vein, that's what he's given me. The ability to, although be a smaller person, being such a workout warrior, he's able to really body up with people. And so, if anything, I would want Derek Fisher to kind of speak to Russell Westbrook or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know, because Derek Fisher has other things he's going on in his life. And, of course, Russell Westbrook's a unique personality. He probably wouldn't take well to everything. But just in terms of the type of stuff that we need Russell to do for our team on the defensive side of the ball, it's some of the same stuff that Derek Fisher used to do. Be big, draw fouls on the offensive side, make people charge into you, big people. You know what I mean? Derek Fisher used to put his body on people, and he was strong. So that's who he reminds me of. In terms of what I would want him to do defensively. Offensively, obviously, it's different people, man. What can I say? But I'm just talking about specifically shorter dude to a strong, hefty muscle dudes that can just keep up with people that are basically twice their size. So there's a lot of stuff about Russell Westbrook's game to this roster that I really like. Sorry, I'm eating something here. Got a little snack, but the thing about it is when we leave him to do things that are requiring him to slow the pace down, take good shots, identify where other guys need the ball. In certain situations, he's just not going to do the right thing. And we've watched him over the last couple of years struggle in those situations, and it's hit or miss. You don't know if you can trust him or not. You don't know if he's going to come out and ball out or if he's going to come out and fall flat. But it appears to me he demands the same confidence. Like he wants people to be as confident in him as if he never makes any mistakes. When a lot of the mistakes that he makes are just you can't recover them, and they demoralize the team. I was watching Body Language yesterday. And it was like a situation where Russell Westbrook had shot a mid-range jumper, and one of our young players saw him. He was gonna kind of run down court and get himself involved in the play. And when Russell Westbrook shot the jumper, you could just see the young player's body language like, here we go, and start to backpedal because he knew he had to get back on defense. He thought the shot would probably miss. Luckily enough, the shot was made, but it's just the point. It's like Russell has to be made aware of how much of that he controls as it pertains to people's body language. Just gets frustrated when you make certain decisions that you're prone to make, throwing possessions away with bad shots, certain things that I think he can control. So it's just on him to help us. That's what I was saying yesterday in my video. It's like, I don't want to get to a point where, I'm so confused by Russell's struggles that I don't see what good he does or vice versa. Because we've had moments at a time where it's been the case where we couldn't see nothing but one or the other. Then he brings both. But it becomes a situation where you just ask your coach to manage him. And I think Darvin's done a good job of that for the most part. But yesterday, without LeBron James, we just really needed to lean on other people. And Russell stepped forward as a Hall of Famer does, takes on the responsibility. But in doing it his way, you get the results that you don't want. And you feel frustrated because you know he wants to win. It's not like the man's going out there looking to lose. He wants to keep the morale of the team high. He's looking to encourage others, so he wants other people to feel good about playing with him. But it's how these things correlate with one another that he can't seem to put together. He can't seem to tie that together so that he can get the results he wants. And I think a lot of times when you listen to people who are defending people, and this is where it comes into the beginning of what I was saying at the beginning of the video, when you want to defend Russell Westbrook as you're a fan of Russell Westbrook, or you want to defend LeBron James and you're a fan of LeBron James, you can't silence people like me who point out opportunities for them to get better. Because we see things from an objective standpoint that you as a fan, you're probably not going to see it that way. You're just not going to be able to. But as an objective person who's looking to win for the overall team, I'm telling you that your guy does a lot of stuff that hurts the team, but he does so much that helps the team that you can't live without him, nor can you live with him. So the only thing you're left to do is to ask him to be better. Because take that onus off of yourself to live and die with his mistakes, and more so encourage him to stop being prone to making certain decisions that lead to bad results. Mistakes are going to be made, but certain decisions, we got to eliminate the ones that we can control. And that's where I'm at with Russell Westbrook. It's like, brother, there was a lot to study last night about how you run the floor the wrong way. I think the frustration is whether or not he's going to choose to make the changes necessary so that those things can be eliminated. You know what I mean? And I think he's taken some steps over the last year and a half that makes me believe that he's willing. A lot of steps. So I want him to succeed. But you have nights like last night that make you feel like you're taking steps backwards. And you're back to square one. So that's where I'm at. That's exactly where I'm at with Russell Westbrook. I'm not really thinking about the contract at all. That's not even what's coming to mind. I'm thinking about how I can psych myself into continuing to believe in the player when there are certain things that I know if we ask him to do, it's just going to lead us to failure. You know what I mean? It's just that simple. If we don't use him absolutely properly, he gonna help us lose, and it's not going to be because he wants to. It's just going to be because he hasn't been able to figure this out. And so that's the reality of it. I think it's the same problem he had in OKC. It's the same problem he's had wherever he's been. I believe the man wants to win, but I don't know how best to say other than he can't get out of his own way. He can't. It's very difficult for him to get out of his own way. When you ask him to do certain things, he's going to do exactly the wrong thing. Out of rhythm, bad errant shots, off the rim, early in the shot clock stuff. Things that we would identify as low IQ stuff, man. And it's like, how do you ask somebody to help you? You know what I mean? By not doing those things, because the stuff that he does, independent to himself, the stuff that only he can do, you need those things. The way that he comes at teams, and the aggressiveness in which he plays, and the way he's able to accumulate fouls if they call them, which they haven't been. But that's not his fault. His aggressiveness is there. The way he can accumulate assists really, really fast. I think he makes players better when he's looking to accumulate assists fast, especially centers. The way he's able to feed LeBron James, they're finding synergy. All of these things are things I want a part of the team when the game matters most. Problem is, if in the midst of having him on the floor, if it's going to be pockets at a time where he's going to completely throw the whole thing off, then how much of that can I rely on when I call upon him? The good stuff. How much of the good stuff can I rely upon? You know what I mean? And while I'm relying upon him to give me all the good stuff, Who isn't playing? Who's sitting down that could also give me some good stuff, and maybe not even the bad stuff that I'm getting from him? So it's like, these are the questions I have to ask LeBron James, the Los Angeles Lakers, Darvin Ham, the Los Angeles Lakers, to consider when they're assessing what they want to do with Russell. You know, Coach, Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka. This is the dynamic I see. Our guy Russell Westbrook is a live and die with player. And the problem is he does a lot of stuff that just is going to cater to bad basketball. I don't know how else to tell the truth. He's going to do a lot of stuff that looks great, but he's going to do stuff by himself that will single-handedly dig you a hole that's a little too deep to get out of a lot of times. And I think that's what happened yesterday against the Nuggets. The talent we were going up against, coupled with us being undermanned, we couldn't overcome that hole that he dug us into. And being that we're not a very good team, you can't rely upon the other players on the team in a game like that to do anything. You're not talented enough to do anything if your $47 million man is going to just dig a hole for you. Then you're looking at your number 2 guy for that night, Dennis Schroeder. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have it either. But you don't expect him to have it because it's not like he's a cachet dude. You know what I mean? It's not like he's a real number 2. So it's just a botched roster. Russell Westbrook's issues on the floor would not be as much of an issue if he were in a different situation, because they would be able to manage him better, put him on the floor with different types of things that would ultimately put him in a position to be better. You know what I mean? These are things that correlate as well. But after last night, you just find yourself saying, where are we headed now? Day before yesterday, I couldn't wait to see him play. Now I'm sitting here and I'm saying, Lord, where are we headed with this guy? Are we going to continue to have him lose games? Is he going to come out tomorrow in the next game and go for 20, and then all of a sudden I can't live without him again? Like, that dynamic is getting old, man. It seems like there's always something you got to live and die with when it comes to this core. Does everybody have this problem all over the league? I don't know. I'm not answering that question for you. I'm asking it. Does everybody have a live and die with situation with their entire damn core? Like, we got to have this, but it can't be that, because if it's this way, it's not going to be that. With Anthony Davis, it's like he's the greatest player ever, but only for 25 games a season. It's like, I got to live with that. With LeBron James, it's like, yes, he's the greatest player ever, arguably, but he's going to want to ruin your cap situation. So if you sign on with him, just know that you got 2 years to be good and 7 years to be bad. That's what it is. Like, I don't like that. That's a live and die with. I got to live with that and die with that. And then with Russell Westbrook, it's this dynamic on top of the $47 million. It's like, yeah, he's going to do some good things in this situation, but you also have to deal with the ego and then the other issues, the turning the ball over and stuff like that, and then the fumbling and the bumbling and the missed shots. And it's like live and die with. He going to also give me 13 points, 15 assists, 10 boards. And we're going to blow a team out because he was too much for them. It's like, okay, I like that. I can live with that. He's going to play every game. He's only going to miss like 3 games a season. So you're going to have him every night. That's cool. Half of those games, he's going to hurt you. That's not cool. I don't want to live with that. I got to die with that. You see what I'm saying? It's always a live and die situation with this core. And I'm just like, Jeannie, can you please give us some stability here? Let's give us somebody we can rely upon. He's good every night. That guy is going to be good every night. He's not going to destroy the team. He's not going to ask that the team do stuff that's going to destroy itself. They're just great players coming in, playing ball, and going home, man. Like, I don't know if that's too much to ask, but I'm just getting too much as a fan, and then none of it is winning. None of it's leading to real winning. You know, I get these conundrums where I can criticize the team a little bit, maybe, if I know who to blame, kinda. May not be who I think it is, because it could be somebody else calling the shots, so I get to guess who to blame for whatever's wrong, and then if I wait a couple weeks, it doesn't look as bad as it used to, because now the players are playing better, so it's like, oh, I'm sorry, Rob Pelinka, maybe you did put together a good team. Nope, no, you didn't, because we just rolled an ankle, and now our team looks bad again. But wait, now here comes a guy who emerged out of nowhere, and here he's playing well. Oh my God, we're the greatest thing ever. And then, oh, nope, not really, because when LeBron doesn't play, we can't beat the Nuggets. It's like, man, this is an average basketball team. Because for every good thing they give you on one hand, they're going to give you something to die with another. And that is what we have. That is what it comes down to. It balances itself out. It balances itself out. And so I just want the Los Angeles Lakers to consider that we are in a zero land space. We are at basic average level based on the extraordinary greatness that the players can provide and the stuff they also provide that ultimately you're going to die with. Stuff that's just going to cater to losing in this hand. And it's like, I am not a loser. I'm not. I have 5 NBA championships in my lifetime, and the team that I root for has 17 of them. I don't really know nothing about living and dying with nothing. I know how to live, for sure, because we got 3 championships in a row when I was, 17, 18, 19, whatever. I know how to do that. I know how to celebrate championships. I don't really know nothing about this losing. I don't know nothing about this. Let's just go out and have fun, win, lose, or draw. There's nothing fun about losing. There's nothing fun about drawing. I mean, I like doing art, but not when the game is tied, man. No, I need to win that. So I just, I like the ability to have low goals that can be a step ladder to reaching higher goals. So if we're trying to get to the playoffs this year, next year we could try to get to the second round. If that's the type of incremental improvement that we're expected to have, I can temper my expectations for incremental improvement. But for wildly all over the place, maybe we're great, maybe we're bad. Who knows? Some days we're really good, other days we might just play 5 guards. I don't like that, man. Like, I would prefer a bit more something leaning in one way or another. If we're gonna be bad, let's just be bad. Let's lean all the way over here and have bad players that can't do nothing for you, get picks and get better from there. If we're gonna be extraordinary great and we're spending $500 million on talent, then why the hell am I living with so much bad? Why did it come with all this in this hand? Why do I have so much of this in this hand? If we're doing all of this to make sure we're so great, how does it balance out? Shouldn't be no balance. That's what the luxury tax is for. You taking away the balance by paying for it. So I think Jeannie's not getting the bang for her buck, as we've talked about, and people are upset at her for not moving a certain way. And it's like, if I move the way you want me to move, then chances are I'm gonna be further in the position I'm in right now to not be able to make the next superstar even as happy as you are. And that's what the problem is. Like, LeBron don't want her to give a damn about her future. And it seems like the tug of war is that she's given all the credence to her future, when there needs to be some balance in regards to that. It's like, yes, the future matter, but so does the present if you're going to hold on to the LeBron dude. And if you ain't going to hold on to the LeBron dude, then how the hell are we stuck with him for the next 6 months? Like, these are decisions that you make as an organization, and you're like, as a fan, I would have never signed up for this if this was the mindset I had in it. You see what I'm saying? Like, if my future means so much to me, then why the hell did I mortgage it? Why am I furthering mortgaging it if the future matters so much that when I get the mortgage, the results, I'm so unhappy that I don't want to further do what it took to put myself in this situation? It's like, do I agree that the Lakers should be mortgaging their picks in future? Hell no, I would have never did it in the first place. But if I've already gone down this path and I believed in it, what the heck changed? It's a bad idea in Brandon's head, but it can't possibly be a bad idea in the Lakers' head if they didn't already won a championship doing it and they've taken it this far. So I just don't know what people are thinking. I don't get the mindset as in regards to how they run this team. That's what I'm here to say. It's like, look, if y'all were doing if this was a Brandon operation, a BDF operation, you would have seen things been a bit more smooth just off the strength of, I would have never signed up for certain stuff, man. I ain't gonna sign up for Russell Westbrook when I know his contract's $47 million and I got to give up a first round pick to acquire it. That's never gonna happen. I'm not gonna bring in Patrick Beverly if I know I have to give up THT and Stanley Johnson to acquire him. I know THT's contract was botched. I would have never botched it. You see what I'm saying? These are things that just never happen. Zubats getting traded to the Clippers, I never did that. It never happened. Julius Randle walking out of here for nothing, never would have happened. Alex Caruso walking out of here for nothing, never would have happened. These are things that I just would have never let took place. Hell, there would have been players that we let walk that I never would have let walk. David Nwaba probably would have been a Laker for another 2 years after that. Like, there's just certain stuff like Thomas Bryant probably never would have left. You know, it's like it's a million things these Lakers did that you just sit here like, what the hell? Trading JaVale McGee to the Cavaliers for cash considerations or whatever we did. Was it for Rondo? I don't know what the hell we were doing. I don't know what we were doing. I don't even remember how bad the trade was. All I know is we ended up letting go of a lot of players that we probably should have held on in. 2, brought in some players we had no business bringing in. And as a result, we suck. And now people don't want to do what they got to do to live with that. That's what it seemed like to me. The people who put that together, like, nah, this didn't work. It's like, but you didn't give us any out. You didn't give us any way to audible out of this. So I'm just kind of disappointed in the people who were disappointed in the results. Because it's like, this is what you signed up for. This is it. Like, you don't get all the way halfway through the game and decide you want to turn around and quit. Like, you see it through. So that's where I'm at in regards to the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't like nothing really about what they've done, even though I am enjoying the team. I'm enjoying the team, but it's just like, how did we get here? All of these different decisions should never have been made, man. And so that's really what it is. I look at this team. I see them still being hesitant to make moves, it seems. Okay, I mean, hey, I'm on the fence about that all the way around. It just depends on what they're looking at. But for me, from what I'm looking at, this is just a average basketball team. And it's going to give you average results. Some days it's going to be extraordinary. Some days it's going to be extraordinarily terrible. And it's going to get all the way to the playoffs until you run into a team that don't have those problems, and you're going to get knocked off. And that's just the way the NBA works. This is not a situation where I'm speaking down on my team. You watch this for 30 years, man. You know what you're looking at. This ain't nah, bro. We're good. We're a good team. We're better than we even look right now. But once we run into a real team in a 7-game series, if we have some of these same issues we have right now, we ain't going nowhere. We're going to go home, and it's going to be expected. And it's going to be fine. You know, that's that kind of thing. And for me, I guess Russell Westbrook and some of the players on our team, they've been living they've been playing a lot of years where that would be the result. And, you just got to live with that if you're them. You got to just be like, win, lose, draw, it's fun. Because every single year, we ain't going to win. But it's the why that isn't being faced that caters to the continued losing. That's the point. It's like, you got to face that why, Russell. Instead of saying, let's just keep having fun because we're going to lose regardless, how about we just do this, and this differently and then see if the result gets better? Because those guys who are doing those things differently, they're getting the results, right? You think they living with win, lose, or draw? They ain't living with no damn win, lose, or draw. No, they're going to do what they need to do to take it to the other team so they can beat the guy who's saying win, lose, or draw. You see what I'm saying? That's the dude they beat. Because he's comfortable with losing. So for sure, he don't care if he loses or not. So we need to make sure that our energy caters to that understanding. We care about winning. It's going to hurt us if we lose. He's going to be fine whether we win or lose at all. So let's just make him make mistakes, take advantage of those mistakes, get in transition, and get the hell out of here. And that's my point. It's like, I'm no athlete. You guys know that. But you can tell by my mentality, I would run circles around these dudes. Mentally, I would run circles around them. Because intellectually, they wouldn't be able to match my fire. They wouldn't. It would be about whether or not my physical nature and my basketball intellect would be able to stop them. But as far as my mentality about how to attack them, man, are you kidding me? No. Because I'm a competitor. I'm not going to allow for losing, bro. Like, if I'm losing, there has to be things I'm doing differently. You have to adjust to what I'm seeing. Stuff is happening. Okay, what I do? I need to adjust. And if there's open holes, for which we have, and I tell you, sometimes you can't close a door. You can't cover up a hole because they're just open. Your team sucks. It is what it is. If that's the case, then for me, I'm looking at the fact that I suck, and I know I'm not good enough, so what I'm going to do with something that ain't good enough? It's not good enough. So you got to throw it away. You take that from which isn't up to par, and you discard of it, and you reset, and you build something that is. That's what you do with something that ain't no good. You destroy it, and you rebuild it. Welcome to the Kobe Minute, man. It's the BDF. Kobe Minute, I always want to let you guys know that anytime Kobe Minute comes around, it's the 24th minute since he wore number 24. We're going to mention him if we can remember to do so. So that's my little favorite thing to do. And, yeah, solid at all times, man. Trying to show love to Kobe Bryant. There's no way around it. We could not have found the competitive nature that we're talking about if it wasn't for his example. Cut and dry. He's why. So this is why we're saying what we're saying, man, because we grew up on him. We don't play like this. This, win, lose, or draw. Have fun. You know what's fun? Trophies. Holding trophies and seeing people dancing. Mark Madsen, remember that dance he was doing? Can you dig it? That's fun. That's fun. That's fun. When you see people, tears in 80's eyes while LeBron's holding them like man style, like we did it, that's fun. Cigar in his mouth, swaying with one MVP, finals MVP in his hands and the championship in the other hand. That's fun, Russell. You don't know nothing about no fun. That ain't fun. What you talking about is coping with ineptitude. That's what you talking about. You talking about going home a loser and being cool with it, fam. And what I'm telling you is, it ain't what we doing. We don't do that here. We don't do that. We inspire ourselves to take that energy from which makes us feel like we can't sit in sadness and unhappiness and unfun, whatever that would be, because of ineptitude, and we turn it into work. That space that you're sitting in that you're trying to cope with, when you realize you're not having fun because everybody's too intense, you turn that into reps. You turn it into motivation. We do not cower from the pain of being a loser because it's a teacher. We don't sit here and be fine with losing. We don't sit here and be happy with losing. Because we can't do nothing about it, then we need to pick another thing. We're obviously not good enough at what we do if we can't win in doing it. Think about that. I'm going to sit up here and spend the only life I got and the hours I got in time practicing something I can't win at? Man, you better pick another sport and stop bullcrapping around with your life. You come here, you play to win. You put on that purple and gold, you play to win, bro. And you play to be unhappy losing. That's important. You play to hate to lose. Somebody got to teach somebody that. Somebody got to teach somebody to hate losing again. Don't give me no damn independent for me trophy. Don't give me no MVP when I just lost by 40. I'm throwing that trophy, bro. Throwing it. I don't want it. Defensive player of the year, when the best player just scored on me in the last second, throwing that trophy. It meant nothing. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. We lost. If that ain't your mentality, you ain't about the Kobe, man. You ain't got that Mamba. You're not ever going to reach the level he was at, Michael was at, if that ain't your mentality. If you cool with coping with losing, then you're going to fall short of the greatest. Period. Bron ain't about that. Bron, are you about that? I don't think Bron's about that. Russell Westbrook going after numbers. It's great, bro. You got your own measures. Cool. Not Lakers standards. If you're with making the Lakers cope with being cool with losers, not Lakers standards. You need to put on a Clipper uniform, bro. Go to the Kings. Like to beat them. Because they're going to have fun. They're going to be fine with losing because they have to be. Because they ain't excellent. We are. We ain't got to be fine with losing. We control that. We control that. By being smarter than everybody else. That's it. By being smarter. But if we're going to be comfortable with losing, we're not challenging ourselves to be smarter. If we're not going to allow ourselves to feel the pain of losing, we're not challenging ourselves to attack those tendencies that cater to that losing. We're being fine with it. We're protecting our minds in the presence of ineptitude. We have to be comfortable with losing because we're too weak to attack our weaknesses. That's what Russell's on when he's talking like that. That ain't never gonna get him what he's looking for, though. They ain't gonna ever teach him what the real fun is. The fun he ain't never experienced, he ain't never gonna experience it because he keeps on being cool with other people winning. He keeps on having fun while other people kicking his butt. And you know who them other people would be? Me. Because I'm gonna be on the other end of that, taking advantage of that weakness. He gonna be looking at a guy like me like, damn, I have to lose because he's gonna beat me. And you know what I'm gonna be thinking? I'm gonna beat him. Because I ain't gonna have no fun if I lose. I'm not gonna be able to sleep if I lose. And I know he's gonna sleep just fine because he's going home just comfortable, whether he wins or loses or draw. So I need to make sure he draws a loss. That's the mentality of the Los Angeles Lakers. If you don't have that going on in your skull, if that ain't in your heart, you need to put on another uniform. Because we got 17 NBA championships because that's what we was on. Every single one of them years. That's what they were on. Some version of that. So I hate loser mentality crap. When I say hate, pretty close to that version of the energy. I don't like at all ineptitude and being okay with losing. Because for me personally, it's the way things went left in my own personal life is adhering to that weakness and not challenging myself, having fun and ineptitude and trying to protect my mind in the presence of things not going properly. I did things improperly, failed, was sad about it, and then comforted myself with more ineptitude, more of what did not work. And as a result, I was miserable. I wasn't winning until I decided to start the process of rearranging my mind and starting doing the things that made me incrementally better. I set small goals, reached those goals, and I'm still on that process. Far from where I want to be, but definitely not continuing on the process of coping with losing. And so I'm not teaching y'all to do that either. No, I'm not. Not when we talk about the Lakers, not when we talk about life. It's okay to protect your mind. You got to protect your energy. If pressure makes you lose, then you got to push another button. Maybe the button is have fun, win, lose, or draw. But make sure you ain't winning, losing, or drawing. Make sure you're winning. That's all I'm saying. Make sure you're winning. Win, lose, or draw with the exception of ever finding yourself in a draw or a loss. You know what I'm saying? If you don't obsess over it, you're not going to beat somebody who does. You're not. And so that's what it comes down to. And that is what it comes down to. I am seeing a lot of guys who have done a lot of things in this league, but they don't obsess over winning. They do not obsess over winning. I do. I do as a fan. Unfortunately, I can't suit up. I can't play ball. We just gonna lose if I run out there. Sucks for me. Can't play. But that ain't LeBron problem. That ain't Russell problem. That ain't AD problem. Their problem is they missing what I'm talking about. They missed this part. This over here. Win, lose, or draw. As soon as he said that, and see, that's the thing. It's like LeBron James. You don't see what else happened in the locker room. You don't know. You know, the only thing that we saw in regards to that clip was that little moment. And you know, I'm referring to the IG clip where Russell Westbrook and LeBron James had different things to say about the team in regards to how they won the Sacramento games. Like, okay, LeBron's like, let's get greedy, and Russell Westbrook's like, nah, let's have fun. That, to me, the way I want that to go, is a third voice comes in the room and says, no, we ain't having no damn fun. We're not. There's nothing fun about losing, bro. The third voice steps forward, BDF 44, and said, nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that either. We're somewhere in between that. If you don't want to be super greedy and you think that's negative energy, I'm sure as hell not going to be super whack and be okay with it. Let's have fun, even if we suck. No, we ain't doing that either. No. What we are going to do is put our egos aside, respect the fact that we have open holes in our roster, and if we don't come with the intensity necessary to beat the other guys, then we're going to be the ones getting beat. So whatever you need to do to cope with what you need to do to ensure that we don't get beat, that's what the hell you need to be telling the team and yourself. If that's ring around the rosy, I don't give a damn. But make sure it turns into us winning. That's all I'm saying. BDL 44. I thank y'all for watching.